Hello guys, and welcome back to Tennis Paris Brothers. Boys, let's go! We're going to just do a quick timer, boys, and then we'll be back, wherever that is. Yeah, go for it.
Hello guys, and welcome back to Tennis Past Brothers. As you can imagine, you've been hearing...
Sorry, alright, so as you can imagine, Oliver can't do an introduction. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Novak Djokovic. So, we've heard so many different stories, so many different opinions, and it's extremely wild. I don't even know how to describe it. It's been crazy, there's been so much drama, and here's how it started. So it starts with Novak Djokovic not being able to play Australian Open because of his vaccination status. He doesn't like to share it. So I reckon he's not actually vaccinated, which is pretty obvious because he ended up getting an exempt letter to play. So then afterwards, Novak Djokovic received an exempt letter by Australia. Oliver, telling me to calm down. Oliver, go on then. You talk whilst you want to do.
Going straight in there, Alexis.
You
Very
have to.
excited.
You have to. You have to. It's Novak Djokovic. So go.
I mean, first things from the start is, what the question is, why is he not getting vaccinated? That's one thing, nearly everybody has done. And from the start, when they say nobody is getting in, there's no exemptions, not even Djokovic, I think they're wrong not to stick to that. Well, they did that, so they gave him the exemption, which I believe, they've given it. He should be allowed in, no problems. I think it's a bit disorganised by the Tennis Australia and the government. They should have, contacted each other and spoke a bit about it. You
can argue though that it's part of Djokovic's team. He should have got the right visa for Novak Djokovic, especially because he got given permission from to get exempt. So it's a separate visa. He should have had that in the first place. So it's a massive error.
But I think as well, it's not really said anywhere. There was also a doubles player that had the same problem. I just don't think they knew there was different visas for exemption. So that wasn't very clear. I think they were given the exemption from the Tennis Australia. So that should have been enough. There should have not really been a problem after they've been granted permission to play. So I think all this was a bit unneeded, I can say. Even Djokovic's mum and dad had to go to Australia and things were getting quite wild. Yeah, what do you think, Alexis?
Yeah, what are you saying, Foto? So obviously it's been very dramatic. It's good for him in a way. He's getting a lot of attention on social media. He's getting a lot of attention here. So as a promotional side, it's going great for Novak Djokovic. I don't know though whether he will be playing the Australian Open. As you may have heard, there's been the latest update with his locator form. So, he claimed in the past 14 days that he did not go to 2 different countries, when actually it has been proven that he went to Spain and back to his home country, Serbia. Isn't it? That's right, isn't it?
Vice versa.
Oh,
so
sorry.
He spent Christmas in Serbia with his family and went out afterwards shortly to train in Spain. Obviously in the locator form it clearly states if you lie basically or you're going to be in big trouble. So he knew the consequences of saying that he didn't, and obviously there was the evidence through social media, Instagram, that the government found that he's been training in Spain. So that is his own fault there, more than the visa I'd say. That's a better reason, for a case rather than a visa. I don't think it's been such a big issue, but
I just find it very funny as well because Novak Djokovic, he had to go to court because of his visa. He got the permission to be able to get into Australia, and then straight away there's another issue that's been found. So there's lots of... Novak Djokovic, a liar. What would you think about that statement? He's technically a liar. He is, technically.
That's been proven. That's true, but I think the whole thing is just exaggerated. We will talk a bit about later some players' thoughts about this. Kyrgios, one of them, has said something, I quote, about what's going on in the situation, about how Australia are, handling it. But yeah, so we have just got a comment. Alex will read it out.
Ella, honestly, this whole situation is disappointing, and I completely agree with you, Ella. It's very, very disappointing on Novak Djokovic's behalf. He's number 1 in the world. He is well known, everywhere. Everyone knows him, and he's a role model to follow. And it's not a very good how do you describe it? He's not
Like,
a very good role model to follow right now, especially because he's not vaccinated when everyone around the world is trying to get vaccinated, and he's just following the wrong footsteps for other people.
That's it. Like, because he's world number one, I think that's why they're also making more of a hard time for him. You know, he's a role model, as Alexis said, so he should be, you know, getting the vaccinated, one of the first, like, showing what's right and, you know, saving the population, not, you know, smaller chance of getting COVID, like, being more safe. I think for not doing that, obviously they're a bit extreme, but I think a bit more, you know, trouble for him, because obviously not vaccinated, but this nobody would have predicted, that's for sure.
So we got another comment. Just because the fact that as a large influence in the world, he should take steps to help the community. I personally like Rafa Nadal's statement.
Yeah.
That was Rafa Nadal's statement. Is that correct, or?
No, so he was saying, like, if you done the decision to not take the vaccine, you know, you have to know what comes with it.
The consequences, right. Yeah, of course, the consequences.
Well said.
They do, yeah. Novak Djokovic, he's obviously... He's either liked or completely disliked.
Yeah.
I'm sure this year, the Adria Tour, where everyone got COVID, it's called the Adria Tour?
Adria Tour,
Adria Tour. And now this issue with the vaccination and the visa, and even lying on the locator form to try and get away with isolation. It's very, very disappointing behaviour from Novak Djokovic. You wouldn't think this is how he... Well, how would he come across? Sorry.
Obviously, he has something to do with the locator form, but in his defence, like, he hasn't written it, that's for sure. It was his team. So I think the locator form is purely not his fault.
Why is it not his fault? Yeah, yes, it is his fault.
He didn't write it. It was his team that would have done the locator form.
So his team's lying.
His team's lying.
His team's definitely lying.
That comes back to him, so...
They saw it on the statement... they took a picture of it, and you could see that it clearly stated that if proven wrong, can I say that? If proven wrong, there'd be massive consequences. So it's going to be interesting to hear once again whether Novak Djokovic should be deported or not. Obviously, he had 1 day to train in Australia after his court case victory on Monday. So yeah, What's up, guys? Gold Wolf, it's great to see you on here. We're talking about Novak Djokovic. Obviously, I know you're the biggest fan of him. I'm only kidding, mate. Deported. There we go. Novak back to Serbia. There we go. That's what we like to hear from Gold Wolf. What's your honest thoughts on that? There's been a lot happening, so let me just state them. I've written it down on my notes. How all the drama started. Novak Djokovic not being able to play because he didn't want to verify his vaccination status. Obviously, that means he's unvaccinated. Then it led to Novak Djokovic receiving an exempt letter by Australia, which is good news for him. However, he came to Australia with the wrong visa. So I'm just going to read what I wrote. Novak Djokovic, Australia cancels top tennis player visa. Djokovic, as he was held in the airport for several hours before border officials announced he had not met entry rules. He was taken to government detention hotel until Monday. So Monday was yesterday, guys, to overrule whether he'd be deported or staying in Australia. So then on Monday, yesterday...
Last week.
It was last week? No, it was yesterday.
No,
oh, wow. Okay, last week. This has already been a week gone by. Okay, my bad. And then, of course, last Monday, they gave him permission to play. He's been training for 1 week. And now there's another issue. And the source, well, Odin knows more about it than me because I've been in college, so he's been reading up to date. So yeah, after a week of training, incident has come with Novak Djokovic. Australian border officials are investigating whether Novak Djokovic's travel entry form included a false declaration. Australian media report, Djokovic's visa was revoked on arrival. Yeah, so much going on. It's so hard to keep up almost at times. There's been far too much. Rules are rules. No one's above such precautions. I agree. I agree completely with you, Ella. Just because Novak Djokovic is number one in the world and he's a massive advertisement for the Australian Open. I don't think he should be able to play. So anything on that, Olivier?
Yeah, I mean, before any of this even happened, the exemption, I think he should have just straight away, when he decided he wouldn't get it, just said it. One of them that did was Pierre Herbert, the French doubles player. He said already in October to Mahut he wasn't going to play. If he was just honest straight away, then there would have been no problem. Or even when he came, he could have just straight away listened and deported. I mean, I think it's all wrong just for one tournament. Yes, it's a Grand Slam. There's only 4 in the year, but I mean, he's won it 9 times, so it doesn't really matter that much. If he doesn't play it once, or if he wouldn't play, he wouldn't win.
There you go. Okay.
But I think he just should have been honest from the start and not made this big deal, not saying whether he is or not. Waiting last second, all this drama. It's unneeded.
So obviously, the locator form. We're going back to that. He travelled. The 34-year-old Serb player, Novak Djokovic, entry from stated he had not travelled in the last 14 days before his arrival on the 6th of January. However, social media platforms such as Instagram has proved that Djokovic was in Spain and he was in Serbia. Therefore, he's been lying on the declaration form, and he was just trying to avoid isolating, obviously, so he's trying to disobey the rules. It's a very difficult topic to talk about. How did the judge reason to reasonate... Oh my god, you're writing. I'm trying to be... Alright, that's why the video didn't work in the beginning. Search it in the news. AZ. Can you explain to us what that is? So... Hold on, Gold Wolf. I'm trying to understand what you've been saying. Obviously, you can talk whilst I'll try and understand. Yeah.
I mean, as soon as Djokovic was in the hotel, on the brisk of deportation, Kim Clare said she did a tweet on Twitter, and it was saying that 26 people actually applied for the exemption, with 6 getting them. One I mentioned earlier, forgot her name, was a doubles player. She stayed 6 hours in the airport, and then she just went back home. The other one, when she heard what happened to the others, just didn't go. And I mean, he's number 1 in the world. He should be the one doing that, just doing everything as it should be, as the rules state, not the one pushing the boundaries, trying his luck, what he can do. Yeah. And obviously he won, and then it's they're making other reasons to try and, not make him play. It's it's a bit...
So we got a comment here from Marco. Nadal tested positive for COVID-19 on December 20th, then arrived in Melbourne on December 31st. So as you may know, well, for England, there's a 7-day isolation. I don't know how it works for Europe. It might be different. So technically, if he was from the UK to Australia, it'd be alright, because you only have to isolate 7 days after having COVID. And then the problem is that it is mandatory to be vaccinated to enter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. Djokovic is basically on top of the law by the sounds of it, and it doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be just him. There's obviously been a few... How many people tried to apply for exemption?
26.
26 people tried to apply for exemption, as they didn't believe in vaccination, and 6 people got it. One of them apparently went back, didn't they?
Yeah, 2.
2 people already went back, got deported back to their country. Obviously, Djokovic paying to go into court, and obviously Australian Open is a massive Grand Slam for him. He won it last year, so he wants to defend it. So yeah, he could face jail though. It's not decided. Olivier was telling me how it's definitely confirmed, but I don't think so. I've done a little bit of research, so...
What I heard earlier today was that Djokovic's dad, he was telling Sky News and all over the news that Djokovic has been rearrested a couple of days after he got out of the hotel, sorry. And I don't know, I think it's all too soon, Australian Open's in like 4 days.
Qualifying's already started.
Qualifying's already started, and I mean, potentially, if he just went home, did a couple more training, he could play the next tournament. Like all this, and he said like, well, if it is true that he would be in prison as long as needed, you know, as long as like he gets his word out there that, you know, he's innocent. I think like all right now he's trying to do is just prove that, you know, that there shouldn't be so much problems with unvaccinated, and like trying to get his word out there that like, you know, they're making a big deal of just the vaccine.
Yeah. So we got Marco, thank you so much for your research. Travel advice on the Australian Gov Department of Health website states that all inbound travellers to Australia cannot enter the country if it has been less than 14 days since receiving a positive test. So how did I don't understand how to how did Nadal get in? Maybe he's just avoided. Well, I don't know. I never heard about Nadal getting COVID. I knew he got it from Abu Dhabi, but then isolated. I think he got it earlier, did he not?
I don't know, yeah, he got it after
I'm doing some research, bear with me.
But, I mean, as well, like, the people that test positive, Shapovalov being one of them, Rublev, Nadal, they all had to isolate 10 days. So, I mean, I understand Djokovic, he wants a bit more extra training, like, than the others before the Australian Open. It's one of the biggest tournaments there is. So, that's why he, like, lied in the locator form, to try and avoid that. I mean, most people have done it, like, the 10 days, because they had COVID. There's been a lot of players, you know, in like some places, they're reaching their highest since it started, the virus. So, I mean, if he would have tested positive for COVID, he would have had to do the 10 days anyway. So why did he not just do it, is my question, like, when he knew on the locator form. So
also, Marco, I've just realised, Nadal was playing a doubles tournament. He obviously played Somerset. Is that Somerset, Melbourne? I don't understand. He wasn't able to. Yeah.
Yeah. So he just recovered, I think, 2 or 3 days before. So they said, in case you still have, you know, some symptoms or anything, you're not allowed to sign. So that was during the first round when he was playing with Munar, the doubles. So, you know, he just had to apologise to all his fans. But then it's weird. Like a few days later, I think it was the second round or third, they pulled out of the doubles. But then they both carried on singles, so I don't know what happened there. Maybe something to do with it.
It's a very... It's so complicated, honestly. This year has been very stressful already, especially for Novak Djokovic. A great start for him for 2022, that's for sure. I think he's going to be struggling a lot this year with exemption letters. Wimbledon, majority of Grand Slams will not allow him to play. Australian Open, look at how much he has to struggle just to play a Grand Slam. I'm sure it's going to be the same for Wimbledon. It's going to be the same for the US Open. And also, well, not the French Open actually. Potentially, he could only play the French Open by the current rules. And yeah, so I'm just watching the comment section as well. Campbell's Travel. Campbell? Did you guys just decide to make up a news channel? Well, it's a news channel related to tennis. I think it's necessary to do it. Loads of people have been doing it as well. They've been sharing their opinions and thoughts, and I thought, why not do it to us? Obviously, we've seen loads and loads of different opinions on this, whether they're for or against Novak Djokovic getting into Australian Open and playing. So, yeah, that answers the question. And I'm sure Novak will think twice before donating 25k.
Yeah.
I mean, 25k for Novak Djokovic is just pennies. It's pennies for him right now. And then Sachin, hello. It's great for you to join in, Sachin. I hope you enjoy listening and sharing our thoughts. Then we got Marco. Boys, it's all politic. I know. It's all political. They are and have always been against Noel. They just not want him to be a winner of all time. Yeah, true, because if he does win the Australian Open, he'll be making history. So yeah. That's true. I hope no. So what do you hope for? Not again. We've been saying a lot all at once. So there's a lot of statements you could have said where it says I hope no. But yeah, it's been a very interesting one. Obviously, the Australian Open has already started. There's Sydney currently being played just before. So it's going to be a very tough one. It's going to be a very tough one to see whether Djokovic plays or not. There should be a decision made already, but there isn't because of all these incidents that's occurred. And honestly, your opinions would be greatly appreciated to share with us. Obviously, Djokovic has been on the Rod Laver court already for a week now.
A few days.
I thought it was yesterday. Has time flown by or something? Honestly, it's been 11 days of 2022, and it's so hectic. Tennis is hectic right now. It's going to be a struggle this year for tennis players who are not vaccinated because they have to show vaccination status, and there's not much freedom in the world right now. Everything's basically shared out, isn't it, with the media?
Yeah.
Sachin, I thought Noel was playing. There is it's a massive mix-up. Then it's my title is very bold, as you can tell, but it's not official that Novak Djokovic is playing, as he has been lying on the locator form. The locator form is a declaration form to confirm that he hasn't been to 2 different countries in the past 14 days. He went to Spain, and there has been evidence on social media from an academy where he was training in Spain, and then it's obviously, and he said he didn't go to any country, so there you go, he's been lying. And Nick Kyrgios, Oliver wants to talk about Nick Kyrgios, about a statement that he said.
Yeah, so I mean, it's quite funny we're going on about Kyrgios, because he normally is always against Djokovic with things, they're big rivals.
He still is against. Yeah.
Well, not with this for once. He was saying how, it's his choice to be vaccinated or not. Like, if he has to take a COVID test every day or something like that to prove he's negative, then he should be allowed to play. But I mean, he said just today actually, he said this is unnecessary how Australia are treating it. He said the words, I'm not proud to be Australian right now. Like, very big
Really?
words actually. Yeah, he said it's very, what's they say? Like, it's a disgrace how they're taking it.
I think it's the right thing. I think, how do I word this? I think Australia are doing the right thing to be very, very strict on Novak Djokovic. He got given the exempt visa, and he got the wrong one. He can't be on top of the law. He got given the access after a court trial, and now he's just lied on his locator form when he came to Australia on the 6th of January. So this is nearly a week ago. So you're not right. It's yesterday. The locator form is fake, and he's lied about it. So that's why we got the liar, and he could potentially face prison. So there you go. We've got junior tennis stars saying, hey bros, Novak has been a lot in the media lately. You don't say. I believe that he should have the freedom to choose, but understand the consequence of his choices. Again, I completely agree with you there, junior tennis stars. Vaccinated or not, it's completely up to them, and he has the freedom whether to do it or not. But at the same time, rules are rules. No exemptions. No exceptions. Yeah, definitely. Obviously, he got very lucky with the court case, Novak Djokovic, and then he's messed up once again with, this time, the declaration form. And there's a photo of Olivier. Show me a photo right now where there's the evidence where he circled no on the 14 days period, whether he's travelled or not. It's like Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, having parties during lockdown. Oh, you know Boris Johnson, what can you say? Life is, it's a tough life right now. 2022 has gone off to a very shaky start. You can read, you can read and say. Okay. You just keep showing me like statements, and as I'm talking. And then we got a comment from Nilo. By the way, thank you so much for commenting. It means so much to us. This whole situation with Novak was a regrettable and unnecessary circus, and the Australian government gave a similar image to North Korea. Well, what more can I say to that, Olivier?
Yep.
Yeah. What would you say to that comment? What would you say to that comment? No comment for me to say on that. There has been on top. It's been exaggerated slightly. Sorry. All I hear right now in the news is Novak Djokovic Australia, Novak Djokovic Australia, and then there's been so many different incidents. It's actually crazy. So yeah.
I mean, I think I said it earlier as well. Like when he said he had no vaccine, I think that should have been the end of it. Australia would have been like no hope for him. I think even giving exemption to anybody is wrong. I think from the start they made a mistake, and all these other things going on top is just making the Australian government look bad, I think, in my opinion. And then this fuss at the airport when they said he could play, and now he can't play, and then again he could. Like, it's all very messed up. Like, there's loads of memes on the social medias about it.
Oh yes, the memes are absolutely hilarious. There's my favourite one is the one about a movie. It's going to be like, what's it called again? The Novak Djokovic.
The Novaks Djokovic.
The Novaks Djokovic. It's brilliant, honestly. So I'm going to just read out some comments that there have been about Novak Djokovic on YouTube, actually, in fact, with different people. We've got Anson. Hey guys. Could you summarise what you've been talking about up until now? I just joined. No problem at all. So we've been talking about Novak Djokovic. We've been talking about everything that's happened so far in this situation, in this Australia situation. We talked about how it all started with his vaccination status, not wanting to share it. Then he was given a letter by Australia to play the Open, the tennis tournament. He then got cancelled due to the wrong visa, which got approved on the court. And now we're talking about the declaration form to confirm that he didn't travel to different countries when he actually went to Spain and Serbia. So he's been lying to basically the law. He's been lying to... Yeah, that's it, basically, Anson. And he could face jail time if he's not confirmed in jail. Already they keep saying he is by the dad, but I don't believe it. It's just an article written. I don't believe it. But
I mean, like, the worst, if anybody lies, what's happened is, the worst that happened is 12 months in jail. Obviously, I don't think
12
that would
months
happen.
in jail, that's a whole year.
That's a whole year, but
yeah.
I mean, that won't happen, but that's what said. If he's convicted, then it would.
Guys, obviously there's been mixed opinions in here as well. Comment down below, like Arpit just done. Should he or should he not be allowed to play? Yeah, there's different opinions, and I don't really know which one to go for. Arpit saying he shouldn't be allowed to play. It's a disgrace. Yeah, I mean, he's really given a bad example worldwide. He's world number one, and he's just... It's been messy. It's been a very messy situation. This should have never happened in the first place. If he should have just been deported back to Serbia, personally. But I don't know what to say. It will be compelling viewing to see him at the Australian Open. However, it is my understanding that all medical exemptions were to be submitted to Tennis Australia no later than 10th of December. Novak, I'm just reading comments here from different people here. Novak tested positive on the 16th of December. Was he hoping to just catch COVID, and if he didn't, would not go to Australia? Well, that's a debatable question as well. He is world number one, shouldn't have acted responsibly. Yeah. Yes, and I hope he won. Oh, okay, so you think he should play? That would be interesting. Jail seems harsh. Shouldn't be allowed to play. Same rules for everyone. Yeah, I know. Definitely agree. Rules are rules. I agree. He's just been a bad example, and rules are rules. As a number one, he should know this. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just reading out some comments. I mean, there's so many for and against. Obviously, he has lots of fans, but I think the past year, 2021, with the Adria Tour, lots of fans turned against him. I was very disappointed there, and this is another one. Jail is indeed harsh, but you know, it's breaking the law. It did say clearly underneath when he was doing the form for what's it called? Declaration form. That's it. It did say clearly consequences would happen if he lied, basically. And he's lied. So he's trying to get away with it. His team tried to, and he didn't get away with it. I love Serbian dances. Want to see more. Have we done a Serbian dance? I'm joking. So yeah, this is all for us, basically, guys. If you have any questions, let us know in the comment section. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to hear some thoughts. I'm going to read through some comments people have been saying. So, this person it's called Jerome, I have no idea. Making an exemption for the top sport elite is sick, as in bad. I think it's very unfair and unjust. It's the same with the tennis players during lockdown here in this country. Tennis players, unless you were in the top 5, weren't able to play. I think that's just very unfair. You have to be an elite level, and it's very complicated and political. So yeah, and then we've got another one here from Jamie. Vaccines are good to help stop diseases, and it is a good idea to get them, and it would have saved all this bother. Yeah, definitely. That's if I had the option to travel still and not be vaccinated, I would choose that personally. But because of all this restrictions, I've gone for my vaccine. It's obviously very good for you as well. But to be honest, he's forged his documents, attended an event after testing positive, and putting the lives of little children in danger. As you guys said, he openly violated laws. He's openly violated multiple laws in the beginning of 2022. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the start he wanted, for sure. Even if it wouldn't happen, potentially being in jail, even lying, he would know that, it's completely wrong. Obviously, he hasn't done it himself. He has a team behind it all. But he must have known that, they lied. Otherwise, just...
You know what? Arpitz just said a very interesting point. Do you think the ATP should ban him? I think that would be a good punishment. Obviously, usually people get banned for match fixing, get banned for drugs, testing, and etc. But this could be interesting. Alpit, you're making a good point. He's been breaking the law. Why do I keep glitching? All right, he's been breaking the law. I don't know. It would be very interesting to see what the ATP would do. And Oliver's laughing. What's he laughing at?
It's funny. Spain have just said that they have no record of Djokovic being present in December. But obviously, social media wants to say different. There was an academy that provided videos proving he was there. So that's why, it's not 100% sure. That's why he might not be in jail already, because they haven't got all the evidence needed to do that. But going back to Arpit's question, I think a ban is unnecessary. He's got too many fans. He's one of the greatest of all time. Tennis kind of needs him. As much as people around the world don't really like him, he's one of the greatest of all time. It would just be a bit extreme.
That's a debatable comment. For the top 3, I'm sure tennis... if you're a Federer and Nadal fan, I'm sure people don't want Djokovic right now. Thank you, waves at the virtual audience. Hope it will not be so complicated for the other slams. Again, it's going to be very complicated. Only French Open so far, with the law, it states that he can play whilst being unvaccinated without exemption letters, etc. So Wimbledon has already announced it. David Chang has just subscribed to our channel. Thank you so much. That is greatly appreciated. I forgot about that. So yeah, if you are new, make sure to subscribe. We do play tennis as well. Legend. Alright, so follow the rule for applying medical exemption travel visa. If you have a problem with the exemption, blame the rules and rule makers, not the players, for following them.
And also, he also broke another rule. So 16th of December, that was when he got COVID. And I'm not sure what the rule is in Serbia, if it's 10 days or 7. If it's 7, he's okay. But if it was still 10, on the 25th, he was seen with a professional athlete. I think it was a basketball player. And he was also seen playing tennis with some kids on the street. So if it was 10 days, he wasn't isolating the full time that he was meant to. I'm still unsure what the rules are over there. But I mean, that could be another thing, him breaking the law. I mean, it's all just, it's terrible from him. And the fact that fans are still, you know, like, supporting him, I think is a very big thing. You know, they must really be devoted to Djokovic. That's for sure.
That's definitely true. We've got Arpit saying tennis needs him, but that doesn't mean he can go ahead and do whatever he wants. There you go. Completely agree with you. He's the only one. I mean, obviously people keep very quiet, but Djokovic has been doing far too much. There was the Adria Tour early in 2021. It was 2020 actually. 2020. Wow. Okay. In 2020, he broke the rules again. He made an event, made a massive crowd. He didn't believe in COVID, and he got COVID, and the whole event had to be cancelled because of it. And that was all blamed by Novak Djokovic. A very bad example set by him. And another one today, the declaration form. If you test positive for coronavirus while in Serbia, you will be required to self-isolate for at least 14 days, where Novak Djokovic has not done that.
He's broke the law again there, so he's done it like 4 or 5 times already. So, I mean, the punishments he's getting, I mean, it's true, I suppose. Like, it's deserved now. Now, looking at, like, more research, finding out a bit more about it. Obviously, you only know from sites, websites, not be reliable maybe, but like, the more you see, the more, you know, you think, well, maybe this is deserved.
So, Coin Chaser, I just waved there. It was supposed to be a hi, but my green screen's very dodgy. So yeah, hi. Obviously, if you haven't heard, Djokovic, it's crazy news. He's been lying. He's been lying to the declaration form to get into Australia in the first place. He claimed that he never travelled to different countries in a period of 14 days, when actually he travelled to Spain. And it's been proved on social media he was training with some academy players in a top academy in the south of Spain, Soto. So there you go, guys. That's the tennis academy. They've got photos, videos of him all playing. So they've kind of screwed him up there. Whoops. And that's how everything's just... Well, it's not basically by that academy, but there's evidence there if Spain needs it. And Spain's been claiming that has been no record of Novak Djokovic. So I don't know. Where did you get that link? Okay, it's a very dodgy article, so I'm not sure if that's...
You've never heard that?
Yeah, I've never heard of them before. Reuters. It doesn't sound like a proper article, obviously. But never mind. It's so interesting and exciting. I'm not sure about exciting. That's exciting is a bit of an overstatement. It's quite scary for Novak Djokovic fans, that's for sure. You don't know, what's that word I'm looking for? There's like the intense, it's quite intense for Novak Djokovic fans whether he's playing or not the Australian Open. People were saying, I don't think Djokovic deserves to be in the Aussie Open, and I agree completely. Too much has been done right now. Djokovic does not deserve to play, and if he does play, I feel sorry for the people that end up playing him, because that's just so unfortunate. He's been breaking all the law just to play some Grand Slam event, and they end up having him in the first round. That would be very frustrating, especially if you followed the law. So yeah, that's what I think.
What's the reason why he didn't play the ATP Cup again?
The ATP Cup, why did he not play?
Is that because of the vaccine?
That's because of the vaccine issue, yes.
So then why does he think he can now play the Australian Open if he couldn't play the ATP Cup?
Because he came on the 6th of January to get in time for the Australian Open.
So
he had COVID. He had COVID as well.
Yeah, but he was still going out during COVID, so he wouldn't have cared.
True. But for Federal fans, it's certainly exciting. Arpit, that's true. For Federal fans... Nadal's playing, isn't he? He could potentially do well in the Australian Open. He's a bit, personally, his form's a bit shaky. Obviously, he won the Somerset tournament. So yeah, I'm going to leave now, bro. But well done on your latest reel. What is it? Your latest? Last time I checked, Oh, okay, so yeah, there's a video of me on Instagram. Yeah, that's a very, very interesting video. I obviously did a recreation of Federer, so there you go, if you want to check that out. It's Tennis Palace Brothers Instagram, by the way. Make sure to follow and subscribe to our YouTube. We're trying to grow more YouTube community, so if you have any suggestions, that would be great. Make sure to comment below. More chances for someone new to win. Let's go. Absolutely. I think it's great to see more upcoming players. I wonder if there's going to be another Karatsev. You know, Karatsev last year, he made a massive... What's the word I'm looking for? He made a massive he's not debuted, but
massive run.
A massive successful run in the Australian Open last year, where he got to the quarterfinals before losing to Djokovic. Semis in fact, and then since then he did very well. So yeah, random Alan, who do you think you've got that will make a breakthrough? That's it. That's the word I was looking for. Breakthrough. Thank you. Let's go Matteo Berrettini. Berrettini is an interesting character. He loves his massive forehand and serve. Backhand slice is very effective, but actually it's very effective on his service. I think so as well. Coin chaser. If I were Novak, I would not play just to keep my reputation okay. His reputation's gone already, but
he's already decided himself that he's going to stay in Australia and, you know, fight with...
He's going to fight for his freedom. That's for sure.
Because, I mean, what he said in court is they're taking away his freedom, his rights. So, in a sense, that is keeping him, you know, locked up in the hotel. So, I think taking him out of the hotel was probably correct.
Yeah.
But they should have, you know, made sure he went back home, not just training and getting ready.
So, YTPFR, which laws has he broken? Well, there's been a few.
About 5.
Yeah, so he's broken the declaration form. It said that you had to be honest, and he lied on that. So he's breaking the law on that.
COVID.
COVID as well.
How long isolating?
The isolating issues. He was avoiding them. There's also clear disclosure of his travel history and visa applications. TA filled out an entry form on his behalf that was inaccurate. Separate issue from whether... Yes, but he lied whether he went to different countries or not in the past 14 days. That's the bit where he's been lying about. So yeah, that's obviously his statement. Yeah, guys, what do you think about his father? He's been stirring up things. Yeah, he's been...
Yeah.
Djokovic's father is... I don't know much. I haven't read enough about his father. But Olivier, on the other hand, he's been reading a lot. And he's been making a lot of statements. So, over to you about Djokovic's father.
Well, I mean, his father came... I'm not sure what day. I think it was when he got locked up. That's when he came, you know, to support Djokovic. I think Djokovic wasn't even allowed his phone or nothing. So... he was just there, you know, with the crowd outside. I think that definitely helped something with the court case. You know, all the fans supporting him, like saying that he deserves to play, you know, and all that. If he didn't have any, you know, fans outside of his hotel room and all that, that would have been a thing where they might just be like, well, you know, you're not really needed there. Like, they've come to see other players play. So that was one thing, I mean. And when his dad and mum got involved, I think things were more easier for him, you know, getting out, winning the court case, and they were advantage for him, that's for sure.
YTPFR, true, you are right. However, it all comes back to Novak Djokovic. It doesn't matter about his team or whoever filled out the form. It comes back to Djokovic, as that's all for him to like get into Australian Open. If he should have done it himself, worst case scenario. Coin chaser, yes, I've seen videos of it. He's been talking a lot about Djokovic. Djokovic is a massive topic. It's a good way to get engagement as well. It's a massive way. And then another statement. Well, only just finding all these articles right now is crazy. Thank you for doing this live chat. Really enjoyed hearing everyone's views. Yeah, there's been a lot of different views, which is very, very good to good to hear, basically.
And Novak Djokovic's dad, he was in fact on a call with the Queen to talk about protecting human rights obviously when his son got arrested recently, saying that, well, what can I do to avoid this,
How did Djokovic's dad get in contact with the Queen? How is that possible? How has he done that? He's just a dad of a famous professional tennis player, and they just got in contact with the Queen. It's just so casual. Okay.
And then what I don't understand is that websites are saying it was a few hours after he won the visa battle, that's when he got arrested. So why did he not just lose the visa battle rather than just sending him to prison after he said yes?
You get deported otherwise.
So why didn't they not just do that and then just say, oh, you're free, you can train one day, and then you're back in jail?
So, there's been loads of comments, guys. We're trying to catch up. Arpit, 65k views. Yeah, that's, thank you very much. That's on Instagram. And then we've got Anne saying, thank you for the live chat. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be doing more of this maybe. Unlikely. But we'll try and do a live stream of the actual tournament being held. Do you guys like Novak's game? I mean, Novak Djokovic's game is by the book. It's literally perfect. His style of play, his technique, everything's by the book. But I'd prefer to see some more excitement in the game. There's something different about each and one tennis player. For example, Nadal with his power and his technique, lifting his racket up and over his head. Federer taking the ball very early and just everything looking so relaxed. I like Djokovic's flexibility skills though. He's very flexible. He gets everything back, retrieves well. The old man is a crackpot. No, it's a mess. Loads of tennis players are getting involved as well. There's been Kyrgios talking about him. There's been, as I just passed by, I saw Andy Roddick. There's loads and loads of different people getting involved with this situation. Kim Clijsters, another one, who was for Novak Djokovic at the time with the exemption letters. And I agree with the exemption. Well, do I agree with the exemption letters? I don't know. I'm 50-50 with it.
I mean, and the fact that only 6 were allowed, I think that's also wrong. Everyone that's applied should have got it, not just 6 chosen people. Definitely, 6 top. Definitely. I think it should have been all or none. So
I 100% agree. So there you go, guys. What is Andy Roddick saying?
Andy Roddick, he was telling Djokovic's dad to calm down because he said if Djokovic is not released in half an hour, he's gonna fight. That's the words he said. So he was calm down, and it's not that bad. He's just locked up for, I don't know how, it was 4 days he was locked up. So yes, he had no phone, no nothing. So it was basically just in a random hotel, sat there. But...
You know what I'd love? I would love to hear Novak Djokovic's. I would love to see a movie, a documentary about his experience during COVID. It would be so interesting. I would be so intrigued by all of it, and I'd watch it multiple times if it was out in the movies. We've got Susanna, a Novak fan, as you can see, with the hearts. Lol, let's go Roddick. There you go, Roddick. Novak Djokovic's father says the Australian government have humiliated his son. Correct. But he's humiliated himself, really, with all these errors that he's caused this year.
Yeah, I mean, they said, he said himself, actually, that they've sent him to prison, and they've left him only one thing, which is his phone. They've taken his wallet, they've taken all personal items that he's been holding. So, I think that's, they kept his phone so he could, update maybe the social media about what's going on, or
take his millions. Take his millions. Yeah. Alright, guys, so I think that's all we have for today. Don't forget to subscribe to our video. Subscribe to our channel. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you very, very soon. And thank you all for joining.